I should have known my brother was lying when he called at 3 a.m. begging for $50 million. I should have known when he said the Russian mob would kill him by dawn. I should have known, because in my family, the Vanderbilts of Manhattan, we don't rescue each other. We destroy each other, but I transferred the money anyway. Every penny of my inheritance. And that single decision would bring down a dynasty that had ruled New York for 5 generations. My name is Victoria Vanderbilt, or it was. This is the story of how I died and lived. The call came while I was standing in my penthouse, 60 floors above Manhattan. The city slept below like a glittering corpse. My phone buzzed against Italian marble. Once. Twice. 3 times. James. Victoria, I need $50 million. Tonight. His voice cracked through the phone. My baby brother. The golden boy of the family. The one who could do no wrong in father's eyes. They're going to kill me, Vic. I'm not joking. These people don't negotiate. I stood up. My silk robe whispered against the floor. Outside Central Park stretched like a dark blanket. 10 years I'd lived in this penthouse. 10 years of looking down at the world. Safe. Untouchable, or so I thought. Where are you? Brooklyn, some warehouse. They let me make 1 call. Call the police? With what? Tell them I owe the Russian mob $50 million, they'll laugh. Then I'll die. The Russian mob. Of course. James and his gambling. Last time it was $5 million. The time before $1 million. I always paid. Always saved him. 'Cause that's what big sisters do. Please, Vic, you're the only one who can help me. I closed my eyes, saw Mother on her deathbed, gripping my hand. Take care of James, she'd whispered. Promise me. I promised. I'll transfer the money, I said. Give me the account details. He sobbed. Actually sobbed. My brilliant Harvard-educated brother. Reduced to tears by his own stupidity, I made the transfer at dawn. $50 million. My entire trust fund. The money grandfather left me. Mine alone. Separate from the family fortune. My safety net. My freedom. Gone. Father would rage if he knew. William Vanderbilt III didn't believe in bailing out failures. Not even his own son. Especially his own son, but Father didn't know what I knew. Father didn't see James after Mother died. 12 years old, lost, broken. While Father buried himself in mergers and acquisitions, I raised James. Homework, doctor appointments, little league games. I was 22, running a $1 billion foundation and raising a child. So yes, I transferred the money, every penny. 2 weeks passed. James avoided my calls, sent texts instead. Busy with work. Let's talk later. Thanks again, sis. Then Catherine appeared. We met at the Union Club. My suggestion. Neutral ground. Old money territory. The place where Vanderbilts had been making deals for over a century. She wore white Chanel. Pearls at her throat. Every inch the perfect fiancé. The girl James met at a charity gala. The girl who charmed Father within minutes. The girl I never quite trusted. Victoria, darling. She air-kissed my cheeks, sat down, ordered champagne, Dom Perignon. Of course. Catherine, this is unexpected. Is it? She smiled. Perfect teeth. Perfect lips. Perfect predator. I thought it was time we had a real conversation. Woman to woman. I waited. In my family, silence was a weapon. Let others fill it. Let them reveal themselves. I know about the $50 million, she said finally. My expression didn't change. Another lesson from father. Never show surprise. Never show weakness. James tells me everything. She sipped champagne, left lipstick on the rim. But he didn't tell you everything, did he? Enlighten me. The money wasn't for gambling debts. Her blue eyes glittered, cold, calculating. There were no Russians, no warehouse, no death threats. The room tilted, just slightly. I gripped my water glass. He's staging a coup, she continued, against you. I laughed, sharp, bitter. Impossible. I run the Vanderbilt Foundation. He runs nothing. Not the foundation, darling. The entire empire. Vanderbilt Industries, the hotels, the shipping lines, the real estate, everything. Father would never. Your father already agreed. She leaned in. Perfume too sweet. Smile too wide. James convinced him you're too soft, too emotional. That comment you made at the board meeting about increasing worker benefits, fatal mistake. The board meeting, 3 months ago. I'd suggested we raise minimum wage across all Vanderbilt properties. Father's face had turned purple. The board voted it down, unanimously. You're lying. Catherine pulled out her phone, played a recording. Father's voice. Clear, unmistakable. The girl's lost her edge. Too much time with those charity cases. James understands business, real business. It's time for a change. Then James, I'll need funding to secure the board votes. 50 million should do it. Father again. Take it from Victoria. She trusts you. She's always been blind when it comes to you. The recording ended. Catherine tucked her phone away, smiled. Family, she said. So complicated. My mind raced, calculated. 5 board members could swing a vote, 10 million each, 50 million. The math was perfect, the betrayal complete. Why tell me? Because I'm a pragmatist. She slid an envelope across the table. I have everything. Recordings, emails, financial transfers, proof of bribery, proof of conspiracy. Your father and brother could go to prison. And you want 100 million cash, plus a seat on the board, executive vice president of something impressive. I'm not picky. Or I marry James, become a Vanderbilt, watch you lose everything, your choice. She stood, gathered her purse, left me with the check. You have 48 hours, she said. Choose wisely. That night I sat in my penthouse. 60 floors up. The city blazed below. Millions of lights. Millions of lives. None of them mine. I thought about Mother. Grace Vanderbilt. The only kind person in our family. Dead at 45. Heart attack, they said. But I knew better. The Vanderbilt name killed her. The pressure. The pretense. The loneliness of living in a golden cage. I thought about grandfather, the one who left me the 50 million. For freedom, he'd written in his will. Use it wisely. I thought about 25 years of being Victoria Vanderbilt. The galas, the board meetings, the fake smiles, the real knives. Always watching my back. Always playing the game. I thought about James, my baby brother, who I'd protected, who I'd loved, who planned my destruction while calling me sis. I thought about Father, who never said he loved me, who only spoke in numbers, profit margins, market shares, stock prices, never hearts. And I made my decision. The next morning I began my disappearance. First the lawyers, discreet ones, Swiss accounts emptied, properties transferred to shell companies, art collection donated to museums, anonymous gifts, then the accountants. Every remaining penny moved to charitable foundations, education, health care, homeless shelters, causes mother would have loved, causes father despised. Finally, the evidence. I'd spent years protecting my family, covering their sins. Now I uncovered them. For James, every insider trade, every bribe, every SEC violation, 10 years of crimes, all documented, all delivered to the right authorities. For father, his mistress Elena, the Hamptons house, the secret family. But more than that, the tax evasion, the offshore accounts, the political bribes, 40 years of corruption. For Catherine, nothing. She'd get nothing from the Vanderbilts, because there would be no Vanderbilts left to get anything from. On the 48th hour, I sent Catherine a text, check the news. Then I walked out, no luggage, no plans, no forwarding address, just gone. The doorman didn't question it. Miss Vanderbilt often left suddenly. Paris, Tokyo, Dubai. But this time was different. This time I took the subway. Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, parts of New York I'd never seen. Real New York. I found a hostel, paid cash. The girl at the desk didn't recognize me. Why would she? Without the designer clothes, the professional makeup, the aura of money, I was just another woman. Running from something, running to something. The news broke 3 days later. Vanderbilt heir arrested in federal raid. CC investigating Vanderbilt Industries. William Vanderbilt III steps down amid scandal. I watched from a diner in Portland, 3,000 miles from Manhattan. Coffee cost $2. Best cup I'd ever had. Terrible, isn't it? The waitress refilled my mug. These rich people think they own the world. Terrible, I agreed. I got a job at a bookstore. Minimum wage. Name tag read Victoria Smith. My boss was a quiet man named Tom. 60s. Graying beard, soft voice. He trained me on the register. Showed me how to process returns. Never asked about my past. The work was hard. 8 hours on my feet. Dealing with difficult customers. Cleaning bathrooms. Things I'd never done. Things I'd never imagined doing. But also recommending books to teenagers. Helping elderly customers find large print editions. Watching children discover Harry Potter. Real interactions. Real purposes. Real life. 6 months passed. James was in federal prison. 15 years for fraud. Father fled to Switzerland. Catherine married a Russian oligarch. Divorced him 3 months later. The Vanderbilt empire crumbled. Seized by the government. Sold in pieces. I didn't care. I had my studio apartment, 500 square feet. Thrift store furniture. Windows that didn't close properly. Paradise. I had my job. My regular customers. The mom who bought romance novels every Friday. The professor who special ordered philosophy texts. The kid who saved allowance for comic books. I had myself. For the first time, just myself. Then Tom revealed his truth. It was a Tuesday, slow afternoon. We were processing new arrivals. He looked at me over a stack of mysteries. I've been watching you, Victoria. My hands stilled. Nobody here knew that name. Relax. He smiled. Kind eyes behind wire-rim glasses. I'm not really Tom. Who are you? Robert Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald Technologies. The billionaire who revolutionized solar energy. The recluse who avoided all media. Running a bookstore in Portland. Why, I asked. Same reason you're here. He handed me a book to shelve. To see if I could be someone else. Someone real. And 8 years now. Best 8 years of my life. He studied me. But you, 6 months and you've adapted completely. No complaints, no self-pity, just work. I'm not special. No, he agreed. You're not. That's what makes you special. We became friends. Real friends. Not networking. Not using each other. Just talking. Over coffee, over inventory, over shared silence. He told me about his ex-wife, who loved his money, not him. About his children, who fought over inheritance while he still lived. About the loneliness of having everything and nothing. I told him about Mother. About raising James. About the weight of a name I never asked for. We should do something, he said one day. With our knowledge, our resources. Like what? Help others escape. Young people trapped like we were. Golden cages are still cages. Project Phoenix was born in that bookstore. Between customers. Between coffee breaks. A foundation unlike any other. We found young people from wealthy, toxic families. Offered them new identities. Jobs. Education. Freedom. Funded by Robert's billions. Managed by my experience. Built on our shared understanding that money could be a prison. That family could be poison. That sometimes the only way to live was to die. Metaphorically, a year passed, then 2. The bookstore thrived, so did Project Phoenix. We saved dozens, then hundreds. Kids who would have become their parents, now becoming themselves. James wrote from prison. Long letters, apologies, explanations. How Father manipulated him, how Catherine seduced him, how sorry he was. Maybe it was true. Maybe he was also a victim. Maybe someday I'd forgive him. Not today. Catherine found me eventually. Email to the bookstore. Desperate. Broke. The oligarch took everything in the divorce. Could I help for old times' sake? I sent her a link to our job board. Entry-level positions. Minimum wage. She didn't reply. Father never wrote. Still in Switzerland. Still rich somehow. Still alone. Elena left him when the scandal broke. Took the children. The other children. His real family perhaps. Or just another performance. And me. Every morning I opened the bookstore at 6. Made coffee. The expensive machine Robert bought. But also the ancient Mr. Coffee in the break room. Both had their place. Both made people happy. Customers arrived. Teachers grabbing thrillers before class. Nurses ending night shifts with romance novels. Construction workers discovering poetry. My people. My community. My family. Chosen family. You look happy, Robert said one morning. We were unpacking a shipment. Holiday books. October already. I am happy. That's why I love you. The words hung between us. 2 years of friendship, of partnership, of something more, unspoken until now. I love you too, I said. Simple, true, terrifying. He proposed that night. After closing, in the philosophy section, where we first talked about Sartre, about existence preceding essence, about choosing who we become. The ring was a paperclip, bent into a circle, from the first book I ever sold him. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I could buy you diamonds, he said, but that's not us. No, I agreed, it's not. I said yes. Of course I said yes. We married at City Hall. 2 witnesses from the bookstore. No announcement. No fanfare. No Vanderbilt wedding with 500 guests I didn't know. Just us. Just love. We kept working, kept building. Project Phoenix expanded nationwide. Thousands saved now. A secret network of freedom. From Seattle to Miami. From Dallas to Detroit. Young people learning they were more than their names, more than their inheritances, more than their family's expectations. Do you ever miss it? Robert asked one night. We were in our apartment, small, cozy, ours. The penthouse, the power. I miss my mother, I said. I miss who James could have been, but the rest, no. No regrets. One. What? I should have left sooner. He laughed, pulled me close. We watched the rain on our small windows. No view of Central Park. No 60 floors up. Just Portland rain. Just us. The Vanderbilt name still existed. In history books. In cautionary tales. In SEC training manuals. But Victoria Vanderbilt was dead. Had been for 3 years now. Victoria Smith lived, worked, loved, built things that mattered, saved people who needed saving, not because of her name, because of her choices. $50 million. That's what my freedom cost. But also that's what my prison cost. The money that kept me trapped, obligated, bound to people who saw me as a resource, not a person. James served 5 years. Got out early. Good behavior. Started over in Chicago. Runs a small accounting firm. Helps ex-convicts with tax preparation. We email sometimes. Carefully. Distantly. Maybe one day we'll be siblings again. Real siblings. Catherine vanished. Some say she married again. Another rich fool. Others say she teaches yoga in Bali. Or sells real estate in Florida. It doesn't matter. She's someone else's problem now. Father died last year. Heart attack. Like mother. The Swiss authorities contacted me. Sole heir, apparently. Billions hidden in various accounts. All mine if I wanted it. I donated everything. Anonymously. Children's hospitals. Cancer research. Homeless shelters. The things that mattered. The things mother would have chosen. I kept one thing. A photo. My parents on their wedding day. Before the money corrupted them. Before the name consumed them. They looked happy. Young. In love. Human. I wondered sometimes. Who would they have been without the fortune? Would father have been kind? Would mother have lived? Would James have been honest? Would I have been free? Questions without answers. Lives without rewrites. But I had my life, my real life, my chosen life. Every morning the bookstore. Every afternoon Project Phoenix. Every evening Robert. Simple. Meaningful. Mine. The paperclip ring turned my finger green. I could have replaced it. Robert offered. Repeatedly. But I liked it. The imperfection. The honesty. The reminder that the best things weren't bought. They were made. Earned. Chosen. Tell me our story, Robert said one night. Our ritual, our game. Once upon a time, I began, there was a princess in a tower. Was she beautiful? She was rich, same thing in her world. Was she happy? She didn't know what happy meant until she jumped. And did she fly? No, she fell, all the way down, hit bottom. And then she learned to walk, one step at a time, away from the tower, toward herself. How does it end? It doesn't, I said, it begins. He smiled, kissed me. We slept in our small bed, in our small apartment, in our big life. Outside, Portland rain whispered against windows. Inside, 2 people who had everything and gave it up. Who had nothing and found it all. The Vanderbilt billions built an empire, but $50 million bought a soul. Mine. And that was priceless.